G'day there guys, only watches these videos for the introductions and then immediately clicks off them. Back at it again with another episode of r/AmiTheA hole. Now if you love me like I love you, I want you to click like on this video, sit back, relax and enjoy this bloody good content. Posted by user AmiTheA hole 0193. Titled, Am I the a-hole for cancelling my daughter's therapy because she has bad grades? My daughter, 14, has anxiety problems ever since she was little, but it was not severe. 3 months ago, my daughter changed drastically. She stopped eating, talking to us or her friends, and her marks dropped. We were really concerned about her, and her teachers strongly suggested we take her to therapy, which we did, and she was diagnosed with severe depression and social anxiety, which we expected. The therapy sessions looked like they helped her well. In the first months, she already began making progress and started talking to us and her friends again, and is eating whatever her mother is cooking. We were really happy to see this, and every day she would get better and better. The thing is, her marks did not. They are terrible, and she ended up barely passing this year. This is what infuriated me and made me cancel her therapy sessions. I know to some it might sound terrible, but I'm paying $120 per session and seeing no progress in her marks makes me feel like I'm seriously wasting my money, now that she returned back to normal. Not only that, but she really enjoys going to therapy. I think telling her that she needs to get higher marks to continue her therapy sessions will motivate her to study harder and thus score better marks. My wife disagrees with my logic, and we had a massive argument because of it, which ended up with her saying that she is going to pay from her money, which hurt me, since I see my and her money as ours. My daughter is also really upset with me, and was begging me to keep her therapy sessions, but I think I'm just going to stick to this plan. Am I the a-hole here? Yes, you are the a-hole. Cutting her therapy sessions is not the way to go about it. You acknowledge at the start there that she was really suffering, and yet you do this anyway. That makes you a terrible person, OP, and I really think you need to revert your decision and think about what you're doing to your wife and yourself and your daughter. Really stupid all round. You're a bad person for doing that. You're the a-hole, and edit. I deeply apologize for my ignorant replies and for hurting so many people. Please know that I had no intention in offending anyone, and it was so upsetting to see how mental illness has affected many of you. I hope you guys can overcome this one day. I've talked to my wife and her therapy sessions will continue. She's returned to normal. I don't think you understand how depression works. It sounds like all you care about are her grades and not that she gets to a better place mentally. You're the a-hole. Exactly. He thinks depression is something you can switch on or off that works like a flu. You take the medicine and you're fine. What the hell? Right? It's not like therapy is a quick fix progress, and she probably enjoys going because OP clearly doesn't understand her needs or listen to her when she's having trouble. You're the a-hole. God, they're so lucky this child likes therapy and is drastically improving and has an excellent rapport with her therapist, and that their family can afford it all. OP's sitting on the holy grail of how to help a child with mental disorders, and he's just like, well, still no better grades, so I'm gonna punish you by axing your medical treatment. Wait, therapy isn't designed to improve grades either? Get her a tutor, OP. You're the a-hole. Right? Like, depression can affect grades, but if everything else is improving except grades, it means she likely needs more academic help, not less help in general. You're the a-hole full stop. Taking away healthcare for grades isn't just an a-hole move, it's negligence. By denying her therapy, you are just going to make things worse for her, possibly causing her to backslide into depression and making her see you as the enemy since you see how therapy is helping but you're denying that to her. Under this logic, you keep her from getting chemo if she has cancer or refuse her insulin if she had diabetes unless she got her grades up. Mental health is no different from physical health care. Also, good for your wife for standing up to you and saying no to your a-hole decision. She's a good mom who is looking out for what is best for her child. Also, why is this guy thinking therapy is tutoring? Keep your kid in therapy and get her a tutor. You're the a-hole. Seriously, his daughter had 2 issues. She was struggling with her mental health and was struggling with school. Therapy was the correct response for her mental health, and OP should have also gotten her a tutor or spent time with his daughter on her schoolwork. Also, 1 month of therapy is not enough time to help his daughter in the long run. Therapy isn't meant to be forever, but you do need to be able to spend enough time to learn all the tools and coping mechanisms you need to be able to go on without therapy. OP, you're the a-hole. Grades won't matter when your daughter is struggling with her mental health. Please take her to therapy and maybe consider going yourself to work on your inability to treat your daughter with the love and support she deserves. To add, as someone who has been involved in education and has mental health issues, it's very well documented that grades, or really performance, will be the last thing to improve with treatment. Opie said she wasn't eating well even. The girl was genuinely sick and just getting back to even ground. She's probably behind, and a tutor would not be amiss, but it's a little early to suggest she's never going to catch up, as just finally eating and socializing is a far cry from being stable enough to be educated. Unfortunately, it's a hard truth. Posted by user Enough Pressure. Titled, Am I the a-hole for washing my boyfriend's clothes? My 22 female boyfriend, 27 male, asked me to wash some of his clothes for him since I was doing laundry today. I told him to put any clothes he wanted washed in my hamper and I'd include them. He left his wallet in a pair of pants to be washed, but I didn't notice as I was putting them into the washing machine, and I assume he would have checked them anyways, considering he had already put them in my hamper. So basically, I accidentally washed his wallet. He was looking to leave the house, and he is notorious for misplacing his keys and wallet, and then freaks when he can't find them when he wants to leave. And couldn't find his wallet, so he starts getting angry and asking if I've seen it. I asked him if he maybe left them in the pants he asked me to wash. He says, "You didn't check? What the hell?" And I said, "No, I don't leave my wallet in my pants, so I don't think to check." Cue anger from him. I go and stop the wash cycle, it had been running for about 5 minutes, and check. And lo and behold, there's his wallet, soaked. Lucky, literally nothing was ruined. All his business cards, money, ID, etc. are totally fine, just needs a little while to dry. But he is so incredibly, seemingly irrationally angry at me and said I was being careless and that I ruined his day by accidentally washing his wallet. At first I apologized, but now I'm kind of upset that he blames me completely and is telling me to never touch his clothes again. Let's not talk about it because I'm too mad to speak to you, etc. I feel like it was an honest mistake, and quite frankly, now I'm ticked at him for making such a big deal out of it. He's stomping around the house like a toddler right now, slamming doors, because he doesn't get to go to the gun show that he wanted to. But I don't understand why he can't go with a wet wallet. None of his cash set aside to purchase the gun was even in the wallet, so it's all dry, and he could still purchase the gun. Anyway, I want to know if I'm biased and if I really did do something wrong by not checking his pants and even giving him some sass by saying, "I don't leave my wallet in my pants." Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. Did he take his pants off and put it in the laundry basket with the wallet still in there? I feel like that's his fault, and if he doesn't want it washed, do your own washing, mate. You're 27 years old. Time to be a big grown-up and not a big baby. If your wallet gets wet and nothing gets damaged, we don't go stomping around and slamming doors. That's a big no-no. You've had 9 years to grow up. It's crazy how it's 2020 and we still have emotionally vulnerable men stomping around the house because their wallet got wet. It's not a situation you really think of. Opie, you're not the a-hole for doing that. You got the wallet out, you apologize that you didn't check every pocket of his pants when you're washing his washing. That's fine, it's completely okay, it's a slip, it's a mistake. Both of you made a mistake, he's the one that isn't accepting an apology or apologizing for his attitude. You're not the a-hole, he is. Not the a-hole. This is actually a little scary. He's both throwing a temper tantrum and trying to buy a gun? My thoughts exactly. What a big friggin' baby. Toddler was too nice. Does he need his mummy girlfriend to put him in a timeout for his bad behavior too, since he can't even check his own pants for his own wallet? You are definitely not the a-hole, but he sure is. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you leave your whole ass wallet in your jeans when chucking said jeans into the hamper and not noticing the extra weight. Maybe I'm just more in tune with the heft of my pants, but for instance, if my phone was still in my pockets post pants removal, I would absolutely be able to tell. 100% all of this could have been prevented if he checked his own clothes. Definitely not the a-hole. Like, how is that even a question? Because either A, Opie is insecure and unsure of herself and her decisions, or B, the boyfriend has played off her insecurity and manipulated Opie into believing that since he's older than her, that he knows better than she does. AKA, he's always right. That he knows her own self better than she knows herself. That she's naive and dumb and needs him to be able to function in the world, while at the same time saying things like, I normally wouldn't date as young as you, but you're so mature, and making you feel like his equal until he needs to use his authority and remind you that he's making a special acceptance to date you and you shouldn't take it for granted, etc., etc. And all of the above again makes her insecure about her decisions and ability to leave him, etc. Things like that, you know? Just a possibility that I imagined. And I wish every young woman read your comment. That's exactly it. Thank God he's just a boyfriend. I had to jump right back to the top and make sure it's not a husband we're talking about. Woo! He's a total ass, but you're not married to him. If this is the first time he's been a total ass, let him cool off and see if he comes to his senses. This is a test, so don't spoon feed him the answer. If he doesn't straighten up, or if he's been an ass before, start looking for an apartment. Life's too short to live with a big bitter baby, not the a-hole. Posted by user SnoopEyes8552. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend her clown makeup is embarrassing? Throwaway because my girlfriend knows my main. My girlfriend and I are both women. Since I was in high school, I've been really into wearing makeup. When I have lots of time in the morning, I can spend an hour plus on my face. My girlfriend, on the other hand, is very anti-makeup. She thinks it's a tool of oppression and shouldn't be required of her to wear in public, etc. Corona restrictions are opening up, and last week we got into an argument after I made us late to a friend's party by spending too long getting ready to leave the house. She blew up on me in the car, basically saying that I shouldn't even have to wear makeup, and I'm just perpetuating gender stereotypes. I said my makeup was a form of creative expression, and it wasn't just so I could look pretty for men. She said it was really convenient that my form of creative expression happens to look exactly like what men find conventionally attractive. We ended up apologizing to each other, and I thought that was the end of it. But yesterday we were going out grocery shopping, and my girlfriend came out of the bathroom wearing a full face of face paint. I told her she can't go to the grocery store looking like that, and she told me it was based off a Cirque du Soleil clown, and that she's showing a legitimate form of creative expression. I told her if she went out like that, I would be embarrassed to be seen with her, and she called me a tramp. Am I the a-hole? I'm gonna go against the grain here. This is a normal fight in a relationship. I don't think Opie is the a-hole for talking her mind after the girlfriend talked her mind about her supposedly valid critiques of normal makeup. While the clown makeup wearing girlfriend said that she shouldn't be doing it based off oppression, the other one did say that she can't go to the grocery store looking like that, and I feel like, that's a more serious one. You shouldn't as opposed to you can't. Different wording, different heaviness, different weights. But Opie doesn't wear her makeup to spite her partner. This second one, her partner was doing it to spite her, and doing it under the guise of creative expression. I don't think Opie is an a-hole for the way that she's reacting, because Opie's partner knows that she's going to be embarrassing Opie, whereas Opie is never embarrassing her partner to be around. I would have the same reaction, Opie not the a-hole. Everyone sucks here. Your girlfriend has a right to be annoyed about being made late, and has a right to make a complaint about that, but does not have the right to manipulate the argument to impose her values about makeup wearing on you. She's being a sanctimonious pain in the ass about it. However, if she wants to wear clown makeup in public, you have no right to impose your values on her either. It's really no reflection on you, so don't worry about it. Stop trying to convince her with the creative arguments. Tell her you're an adult and she's not your mum, and you'll wear makeup if you want, period. How does OP suck for calling out an obvious attempt to use overkill to drive home a point? It's not like her girlfriend tried to put on some makeup for the first time, didn't do a good job, then got crapped on by OP. Or has always been into clown makeup as a form of expression. She is purposely trying to cause a new fight by all of a sudden deciding to wear clown makeup after a fight. Come on now, call the bullcrap. The fight is what she wants. Calling it out is just taking the bait. Then you get into, why is my creative expression on my face embarrassing when yours is fine? Is it just because yours plays into the patriarchy of society, and you've drunk the Kool-Aid, etc., etc.? That's exactly what the girlfriend was looking for, and OP fell for it. Much better for OP to spot the obvious attempt and say nothing and let the girlfriend embarrass herself. 100 to 1 odds the girlfriend would have lost her nerve before they got to the store. That's just extra steps. If she's going to pull this level of frickery, a fight is going to happen 100%. Calming down and talking about it rationally went out the window when she put on the red rubber nose. You would think adults would handle problems in their relationships by talking about it calmly, not this petty game of chicken. If the girlfriend was really ticked about her having too much makeup, that would be one thing, and I'd be on OP's side, because nobody but her is allowed to decide that. But girlfriends seem to be mainly ticked about her being late. If you want to have a 3-inch layer of makeup on, then by all means do, but then plan accordingly and start getting prepared earlier. Being late is being disrespectful to the person waiting. Clown thing was obviously childish, but hey, if it drives home the point. Apparently OP2 thought she had a right to decide how her partner should look. Can't really decide? I'd say everyone sucks here, but with OP being like 75% a-holiness, and girlfriend being just 25% or so almost you're the a-hole for OP. Not the a-hole. She sounds passive-aggressive and judgmental. It's your prerogative to wear makeup if you want to, and she should accept that without all the histrionics. Also, given that you're in a gay relationship, her remark about how you're trying to look pretty for men sounds like she's insecure and projecting it onto you. This doesn't sound very healthy, I gotta say. Not the a-hole. She's doing it to belittle you and trying to prove how right she is, and not conforming to her view, which is diminishing your individuality. Can't believe this doesn't have more upvotes. Honestly shocked by all the everyone sucks here, but not really because this sub is fudging stupid sometimes lol. This is a huge red flag. One of the top comments is saying that OP got owned by her girlfriend's clown makeup point. That's how you know it's a bunch of idiots here. You can debate it if you want, but the majority of the sub says not the a-hole, and I stand with OP on it. Posted by user Snoo66130. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my stepdad to stop trying to be my dad? I'm 35, and my mum, who is 52, is dating a man who is 27. Bit of a 25-year age gap there. This is fudging weird as hell, and I really don't like this guy, but whatever. He always brings up the fact that he's my stepdad, and always talks about how proud of me he is, and how good of a son I've become, and how he's raised me so well, and crap. Oh, that's so wrong. Oh, God. Like, he's literally acting like my dad, which pees me off because he's younger than me and was barely ever in my life. But more so because I actually had a dad who unfortunately passed away. I told him to stop in private, and he just brushed it off as nothing. My stepdad was at a family gathering, and he was making jokes about how much of a great stepson I am, and how proud of me he is, and I lost my crap and said, "Listen, you worthless sack of crap, you are not my dad, just because you're dating my mum. You didn't raise me, and you're the youngest person here. Shut the frick up. You're an annoying brat, and you're fudging weird for dating someone almost twice your age. Shut the hell up, and the rest of us don't want you here." He packed up his crap and left. 2/3 of the family was happy that he was gone, but the other 1/3 basically won't speak to me and are ticked off, including my mum. That's just really creepy, as you can see by my reaction to this. What in tarnation is going on with that man? Is he like disillusioned 24/7? He did not raise this 35-year-old person. Not the a-hole for freaking out like that. You know, that's like chipping away over time. Hey son, I raised you son, I'm so proud of you son. I would be crawling out of my skin being around this, and I'd be questioning my mum, what the hell are you doing with someone 8 years younger than me? Definitely not the a-hole for blowing up like that. And I see where the other 1/3 of the family are coming from, but come on, it's so weird. It's not right. It's not right. I don't agree with it. Not the a-hole. His behavior is weird and condescending AF. It's a worn-out joke and definitely even more inappropriate given that your father has passed. Dude needs to grow up and realize your mum's age doesn't magically transfer to him. If he had made the joke once or twice, and you guys were buddy-like, then I would have cut him some slack. But it doesn't sound like he deserves it. It doesn't even sound like a joke if he does it all the time. It sounds like he's legitimately trying to take credit for raising you and your accomplishments, and to come off as older than he is. At first I was like, no a-holes here. He's trying to get along with his son. But when I saw the age difference, oh my god. Not the a-hole, and you are so right. Even without the age difference, it's pretty obnoxious. The age difference just compounds the issue. It's an adult stepson being condescended to by a stepdad who's never known the stepson as anything but an adult. That is never going to be a father-son relationship, whether the new stepdad is 27 or 77. Also, it seems like this stepdad is acting this way as part of some kind of older woman kink and fetish, and OP, the stepson, is a prop in this kink fetish. It seems like he's going out of his way to bring the stepson thing up over and over. If this is indeed the case, it's rather twisted that he'd forced someone unwillingly into his kink/fetish. Ding ding ding. What this guy is doing is wrong. If that's what him and OP's mum are into, then fine, but leave OP and the rest of his family out of it. The mum might not even really be part of it. On her end it might be, oh, well, there's an age difference. Not the a-hole. I lost my dad too, and if my mum started dating someone and they'd pulled that crap, regardless of their age, I'd go bat crap. You did right by approaching him in private first, and when he didn't stop, you were within your rights to go off. But you may want to soothe your mum because you did take a massive dump on her love life. His mum took a massive dump on his family life by not confronting her new lover the minute he started claiming to have raised OP. Posted by user ThrowRA_Random, titled, Am I the a-hole for telling someone who called me fat that I had a miscarriage? I, female 26, just had a miscarriage. I was far enough along that I had put on about 15 pounds. I went to visit a friend, and when he saw me he said, "Boy, you've put on some weight since I last saw you." And I snapped at him and told him that I just had a miscarriage a week ago and hadn't lost the baby weight yet. Every single time he sees me, he feels the need to comment on my weight, and I got sick of it. I had an eating disorder and was too skinny when we met, so I've put on weight since then. I think it's something you really shouldn't comment on unless someone specifically asks you to. Anyway, he said that it was uncalled for, and then his wife said the same thing, and they asked me to leave. Am I the a-hole? I don't think you're an a-hole for blowing up like that per se. It's very rude to comment on people's weight. I never do it, and that's just a disgusting thing to do. Especially just to say it to your face like that. And his wife for enabling it, and them both coming together to kick you out. Disgusting behavior. You don't make it clear whether you tell them you had an eating disorder or not. I mean, it makes it suck less for them if they didn't know. You've kind of dropped 2 bombshells on them. Doesn't make them any less of an asshole, but you know, it's not as bad as them knowing and still going ahead with it. They both suck, you don't suck, you're not the a-hole. Definitely not. These people are not your friends. First, they comment on your weight. Not okay for any friend. Second, they're mad that you said you had a miscarriage. Definitely not okay. Totally. They are double a-holes. Double each judgment due to the depth of the assholery, quadruple assholes. Not the a-hole. Again, these people aren't your friends. The audacity to tell someone they've gained weight, and then saying that telling them you've gained weight because you had a miscarriage was uncalled for, and then kick you out? Telling someone they've gained weight is a crappy thing to do and is uncalled for. Screw these people, honestly. Here's a good tip I've learned. If they can't fix it in 5 minutes or less, don't comment on it. Food and teeth? Easily fixed. Smudged makeup? Easily fixed. Stray hair? Easily fixed. Weight? Not easily fixed. You get the point. And OP is definitely not the a-hole, but this was a good thing to happen, because you said that almost every time you see him, he comments on your weight, and that is super toxic. I would stop talking and associating with him and his wife if I were you. He doesn't seem good for your mental health in my opinion. And lastly, I'm sorry about your child. I know nothing I say will make the pain any better, but they are looking out for you from heaven. Honestly, people need to do this with compliments too. Stuff that's in the person's active control, okay to comment on. Stuff that the person can't actively and easily control, keep your mouth shut. Wow, your shirt really brings out the color of your eyes. Good compliment. They picked the shirt, they probably like it, etc. You've gotten really thin lately, good job. Bad compliment. You have no idea why and don't comment on bodies. Posted by user Professional Ad 2645. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my niece that she can't bring anyone else to family functions until she's married? My niece has always been a problem in general, but she goes through romantic partners very quickly. In college, she frequently brought female friends to Christmases, and she's brought a boyfriend, a now late fiancé, and another boyfriend since. The fiancé died, and the boyfriend since cheated on her. Oh my god, what is with the bombshells today? My god, the fiancé died? I feel bad for her. The kids are so confused. They don't know what's going on at all around her. I've never heard so many questions and kid gossip about one person. It's inappropriate that they would have to think about those things. I told my niece on a family Zoom call that this has to stop. We don't care what she does on her own time, but she can't have any more plus ones to family functions until she finally gets married to someone. Until then, not even a fiancé can come. I feel bad for her that her relationships end quickly and poorly, but we can't do anything about that. All we can do is protect the kids. I'm the matriarch of the family. Some of my siblings think that I'm too harsh, and the others think that I'm right, but that I should have said it better. Am I the a-hole? You don't think that someone whose fiancé died deserves a little bit more, respect? I know it's something that's tossed around a lot, but come on guys, this is a genuine case of sexism. That's genuinely sexist by this matriarch of the family. Who is she to judge OP after losing a fiancé like that? Everyone goes through stages where they date, break up, date, break up. It's normal for a lot of people. And why are the kids not allowed to see that? Why are the kids not allowed to see how reality goes for some people sometimes? That's just sheltering and helicoptering. I understand if you don't want them to be going through traumatic things like that, but seeing someone with different partners every few months, every few years, it's normal behavior. I think OP is a big a-hole for what they're doing by discluding this person from their family. Not even a fiancé can come? What, because this one's gonna die too? You think that's gonna happen? Because that's disgusting. OP, you're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. It sounds to me like your niece doesn't have much control over the situation. I'm sure she hadn't planned on her fiancé dying. I'm sure she didn't want her boyfriend to cheat on her. All you're doing is likely making her feel worse about it. It's also not at all confusing. She had a boyfriend, then a fiancé who died. Now you tell the kids she's started dating again and has a new boyfriend. 3 men over what I assume isn't a short time, as one was a fiancé. It's not hard. Edit, just saw OP's comment saying the female friends weren't friends. So more than 3 partners, but seriously, don't refer to partners as friends. Still not confusing. OP is just a homophobe who doesn't want to explain to the kids, it seems. Yeah, I'm going with you're the a-hole OP, especially for referring to her partners as friends. It's clear that you never gave her a fair or level playing field. And saying the niece has always been a problem? That really upset me. The niece never had a chance with this woman. That woman is the matriarch. Show some respect, please. You are so confusing. No more +1 for you. Bow before the matriarch, insolent worm, lest Fido, gatekeeper of the divine porch and guardian of the sacred Thanksgiving leftovers, devours your unworthy soul. Imagine holding the death of their significant other against someone and thinking you're not an ass. You're the a-hole, especially because that restriction actively discourages her developing new relationships by cutting anyone new off from the family. You're the a-hole. It's really not that complicated for kids to understand dating, and if they don't, it's the parents' fault, not your niece's. If my boyfriend wasn't welcome at family functions, I would not attend. Not to mention, you really expect her to marry someone who has no idea what her family is like? Edit. I really just want to say that you're a major a-hole for using protecting the children as your excuse when you're clearly just judgmental of her love life. Edit 2. Opie is just a homophobe trying to find an excuse to exclude her niece from family events so that the children don't catch the gay. Nothing to see here. Info. What exactly are the kids confused about, and how does not allowing your niece to bring a friend and significant other protect the kids? The amount of times I get questions about her sexuality, or who she's with, or where X went. Seems like a good parenting and teaching moment to tell the kids how it's not their business what someone's sexuality is, and for them to realize that some people date and break up, instead of taking this middle school drama approach and banning them from the party. Stop thinking that sexuality is some big enigma to young kids that will permanently screw with their psyche if they learn about things other than heteronormative. Alright guys, that's where I'm going to end today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even learned something that you didn't know before. If you haven't already, please do feel free to click that like button, as it really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already and you loved today's video, please feel free to subscribe. I would love it a lot. Also, big shout out to all my Patreon members and channel subscribers. You guys are all up on the screen right now. I love you. I love your faces. Also, I love seeing you guys all chatting down below in the comments. It brightens my day to see the stories that you guys share and just the kind words you guys always have for my videos, as well as everyone else in the videos. I love you too. But honestly, your ongoing support means the world to me, and I just love it so much that you guys are able to support a career for myself that I invest so much time into. And you guys honestly motivate me to work harder each and every day to put more love into the videos for you guys. If you guys have watched this far in the video and you haven't already subscribed on Patreon or become a channel member, that's cool, you don't have to, but there are links down below. You can donate any amount of money, pledge that any month, cancel whenever. I'm completely cool with it. It's just there for you to support me if you'd like to go the extra mile. And I'll go the extra mile for you guys by putting out new amazing content every single day. With that said guys, I really hope you have a good day, night, sleep, bath, time at work, whatever you're up to today. This has been Markee. I'll see you in the next amazing video. Bye.